Billy, you know, your payment's not $850 for this car, okay? You're probably wondering, well, why would I put $850 on this sheet? Well, I'm putting $850 on this sheet because you asked us to do something for you, and we said we would. We said we would pay off your trade, okay? $10% of that payment, which is $85, is for your other car, okay? So your payment for your new Jeep, 5, 8 from 14, 6, your payment for your new Jeep is only $765. Now, we can do this one of two ways. You tell me which way works best for you. You can put down another $6,000 and your payment's $765, or we can go ahead and pay off your car without you putting down a nickel and your payments at $850. Which one works best for you? Alternative choice, close. You know, when I started out in this business, I was a finance manager. I started as a finance manager. That's back in the days when finance and insurance was fairly new, so they took people who didn't have any experience and put them in the finance office, and it was doable because, number one, there wasn't nearly the paperwork there is now, and number two, consumers had never met a finance manager. So I was a bartender on a Friday night in Atlanta in the middle of January, and at the end of January, I took 22 turns at a store in Connecticut 2 weeks later as a finance manager. Upside down referred to a pineapple cake. Nobody had negative equity. It didn't exist. Why?
Because it's shorter.
Shorter terms, and my most lenient lender had to have 25% real money or real equity down, or they wouldn't finance the deal. By the way, interest rates were off the charts. My buy rate on a new car was 19.6. Okay, prime was 22. My first mortgage was 10.5. All right, so nobody was upside down. Well, shortly thereafter, rate subventions came in. GMAC came out with like 11.9 on 36, 10.9 on 24. And then shortly thereafter, they started advertising, because there was a recession going on, they started advertising financing with no cash. And America's been upside down ever since. But we haven't changed the way we present the payments. Ideally, if the software people who come up with these desking systems, whether it's eLeads or whatever, when there's negative equity, they ought to present a split payment disclosure, okay, where it says, hey, your real payment's $765, with the payoff it's $850, with another $6,000 down, your payment stays at $765, or if you want us to pay off the car completely, it's $850. Which way works best for you? By the way, is this the absolute truth?
Yes.
Yeah, we're educating the customer. They're mad at us because their car's worth $6,000 less than they owe. How many times have you heard this? Well, I thought my car was worth what I owed on it.
Oh, a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, yes, sir.
I have a question. How can you overcome when a customer, because I get this a lot, let's say they pay $25,000 and the car is worth $13,000. Come on, Willie, I put $8,000 down and I finance $25,000. Can you help me out?
Yeah, you can help them out, but you can't help what they bought. You can't help the term they chose. You can't help the way the deal was structured unless they bought it here, okay? Then you got to be careful, all right? You just have to shoot them straight. You know, first of all, if with this particular customer, I'm probably going to find out it needs analysis, they're upside down, right? Okay? There's no cash here. I would have been working this customer for cash, right up front and all the way through. I would have tried to gotten at least $6,000 out of him, so I wouldn't have to go through this. But I'm a realist. Most people who are upside down aren't loaded with cash. If they were loaded with cash, they wouldn't be upside down. That's why, when I was talking with Goldie the other day, he thought I was trying to give the customer too good a deal by showing them shorter terms. I want people to come back and buy cars from us more often than they do now. And when a customer can trade anytime they want to, it's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Customer can't trade anytime they want to, right? They can try anytime they want to, but you guys experience it all the time. People show up, they want to buy a car, new or used, they leave because they couldn't. Why couldn't they? They are buried, okay? I one time had a car payment of almost $1,700 and it wasn't a Ferrari, okay? But it wasn't just a car. It was a Suburban, an Excursion, a Jaguar convertible, and a GMC Denali. Okay? That's, yeah. I only had one of them, but I was paying for all of them, all right? And, you know, some customers don't know what they're doing when they buy cars. Doesn't mean they're stupid. I've met plenty of customers way smarter than I am, but they're amateurs. You guys are the pros. That's why I think it's, you know, so intelligent to talk to them about what a shorter term means to them, what cash down can do for them. It can keep this from happening, but we know that we're going to do whatever it takes in the end to deliver them a vehicle, because if we don't, somebody else will. I get that too. But when the customer's upside down, you need to have a good conversation with them, and you need to know how to do the math, okay? What's the math?
$20 per thousand.
No.
Pay one for a straight.
Okay, well, but you have to figure out what percentage of the payment is going towards the old car. The math is simple. It's the amount of negative equity. In this case, we bought their car for $9,000. They owed 15. So how much negative equity was there? $6,000. The amount to finance was $55,000. So you divide the negative equity by the amount to finance, and that gives you the percentage of the payment that is due to the negative equity. The math is easy. Communicating it is the art form. With Billy, I wasn't dogging him because his car was upside down. I just said, hey, look, we'll do it any way you want to, Billy. We're here for you. We'll pay that sucker off for you, okay? But if you want the actual payment for the new Grand Cherokee, you'll put down $6,000. Or if you want us to roll that into your new payment, it's $850. Which way works better for you? Another way of putting it is, where are you more flexible, with the monthly payment or the cash down? Does this make sense? Yeah. Okay.